this will be the planning video for the PS5. I'm just gonna explain what's going on with Jackson's mom. Basically, Jackson's mom spent $500 on their dog, Chevy. The reason why, Chevy broke his foot. I don't know how. I would have told you guys if I knew, but I don't know. And go see the other video. I explained why he didn't go to Grandpa and Grandma's. I'll just explain it in this video too. Gage did something really bad. And Grandpa and Grandma got really upset, so I decided to let them have a break for at least 3 weeks. This weekend, I'm actually going to go to their house with Jackson if Jackson's mom has enough money. But not just that, this video is not just going to be about the PS5. I'm actually going to be getting a PS5 charger today for the PS5 controller. And I'm going to see how it works and see how it is and see how it feels. Which I'm excited for that. But let's get started with the planning. So let's bring you guys down here, because this is where I'm going to be recording the unboxing video. It's right here. And so, I need a bit more up. There we go. So it's going to be like this. Maybe a bit more down. Yeah, there we go. So it's going to be just like this. So my PS4 is going to be right here with the cords plugged into it. And then the controller is going to be on top of it. Then the controller charger is going to be right in front of it. Then on my game box, it's going to be behind me too. For everything that's on the system. Or for the system. Then over here would be the PS5 box. Then bring it right in front of me and then unbox it. And then the controller that is dead. I'm gonna put it right next to the controller charger, which I forgot to say. The box will be right here, then the controller charger, and then the controller that's already charged. Then I'm going to be unboxing it, and then the controller that is dead would be right next to the controller that is charged. Then obviously the cords are going to be not connected to the PS5, so I'm going to unconnect those hair ties and then plug them in to it, so I don't have to do that. Then, after that, I'll put everything else either at the back of the PS5 or at the front of it. There's not too much for the PS5 since I don't have much controllers or anything for it. Because I don't have tens of thousands of dollars to buy everything at the exact same time. Right now, I don't know how much money I have. But I think I still got around $100 because I spent $12 on the Call of Duty game, which was not very much, but I'm gonna get less than $100 in this video because of the controller charger. So yeah, moving on. So the cage is gonna be a little bit over this way. So I can move the bird seats to that corner. The reason why is because, I'll explain it later, but right here would be the PS5, but right now it's my PS4 because I don't have the PS5 yet. Then over here at the other side of the TV would be where my PS4 is going to be. Which I decided that because there's literally nowhere else to put it. On the ground it'll get dusty pretty quickly. Over here is where I usually put my stuff that I actually pretty much use every day. Over here is just a lot of bird seeds, stuff that I usually use every day. So yeah, that's what's gonna be. That's like the only thing that I'm gonna say for the video. I don't want to ruin the rest of the video. So see you guys in my next video, guys. Goodbye. Guys, you probably already know what this about. So we're gonna be taking my PS4 charger and kind of comparing it to the PS5 charger. So this is an unboxing video, obviously. If you guys didn't take the hint, kind of ripped off the tape before I got here, so it'll make it easier on me. So I don't spend like 15 minutes trying to rip this tape off. Because it could just rip off like that. I finally ripped it off. Oh, it's so sticky. It's still on me. Time for the last tape. So, before we actually unbox it, let's actually kind of... So basically, I kind of hate this picture. I like the charger, I just hate the picture. Because they got the controller wrong. There's no PlayStation button, all the buttons are wrong. The door sticks are not the same, so I kind of hate it a bit. Oh, almost got it. Get off me. Alrighty. Time to open the box. Got hair in my mouth. I'm gonna rip this though. How do you actually open this thing? Because I don't want to rip the box. And I already did anyways, didn't I? There we go. Whoa, everything comes in like uncomfortable wrap. Let's start from right here. What is this? Let's check it out. And it's the wire to the charger. What I meant by we're gonna be comparing it, we're gonna plug in each one, plug in each controller and see how it works. Let's unwind this. There we go. Unwrap. Unwindle. And there we go. Don't want to tangle this up. And that's exactly what straight up happened. It was supposed to be soft. But here we are. Oh, there we go. This is one long charger. Finally, the charger. Finally, this is a big charger for a PS5 controller. Well, I can understand because the PS5 controllers type bit are bigger than the PS4. Whoops. Yeah, this is a whole lot bigger. Oh yeah, look, see, it does have the screen on it. Let's take this. Let's take the tape off of it, the screen. Where does it plugged in? Oh, here it is. So, this is what it looks like. I'm gonna be plugging it in. Here's the charger for it. And there we go. Now, let's move some random thing my Minion bottle that I got from Universal Studios. And let's put the camera up here towards my lamp because we're actually going to compare them. So we're obviously going to do it with my PS5 controller. And then the first ever controller that I got from my PS4. Starting off with the PS4 controller. Let's put it up here. Let's unplug my phone charger. So I charge my phone over there. And let's plug this in. So, here we go, we got it plugged in. So we can charge two controllers. We can charge two controllers at the same time. So let's plug one in on this side. There we go. My controller's turning yellow. I'm gonna make sure it's stable enough. Time for the other side. So let's plug in the other side. Boom, they're both charging. Nothing really. You can tell when it's fully charged when it's just a yellow light starts, like when it's shut off completely, like that. That means it's fully charged. But this charger is old and it's not really stable and it's a little broken, but it still charges my controllers a bit, so I still like it. But finally, let's go with the PS5 charger. Let's put the screen right here so you guys can see it. So sorry, I gotta put this in real quick. See what this looks like. Whoa, that is cool. Look at that. It has LED lights on the sides, both sides, and has a screen. So let's plug in the PS5 controller. I don't know how to do this. Well, it's really just that. So it just charges it. Let's plug this in. So the controller will tell you when it's full. The screen doesn't tell you. But that is actually pretty cool. I have Bluetooth on this controller, and I'm gonna turn it on, and I'm gonna waste the battery, and then I'm gonna record a video and actually plug it in and actually see how it works. Because this is fully charged, as you can tell. If I plug this in, it blinks. That means it's full. So, see you guys when it's... Actually, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna make the charger die, but I'm not gonna put it on camera because I actually kind of just want to see how this is by itself. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, guys. Let's kind of unplug this. Well, it takes a minute to turn off, but this is what it looks like. When Jackson does come to my house, I'm definitely going to hide the PS5 controller and the charger, because I don't want him to know that I'm about to get the PS5, because that is the next thing I'm buying. That, the charger is was the last thing that I have to buy for the PS5, out of the PS5. One more thing before I go. I have to plug in my phone charger, since we unplugged it. Well, see you guys in my next video, guys. Goodbye. Hey guys, so we're gonna be reacting to another PS5 video. This is the last time that I'm gonna react to a PS5 video. I'm only doing this because this video is about the PS5. So why not just react to another YouTuber unboxing the PS5? And he does play a few games on the PS5. Which one of them is a rated M game that has a sword and blood, so I won't put that in the video. So when that comes up, I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to watch the entire thing until that next game shows up. Boom. But let's get started. So when I see Jackson, we're going to be reacting to the other guy, like the first reaction video that I ever done on the PS5. We're going to react to that guy. We won't react to my video because we're going to have a face cam to the video, but let's just get started.
Hi guys, coming over to our console gaming setup, we have an Xbox Series X, we have a PlayStation 3.
Okay, why did he have to show the Xbox if it's a PlayStation video? I don't understand that.
Xbox One X, PlayStation 4, and finally the PlayStation 5. So, been hard work trying to get hold of this one. Managed to get a pre-order on it. So let's unbox this and get this set up. Hi guys, today we're unboxing and setting up.
So basically, a few GameStops have it, but most of the stores haven't at Best Buy, so we're gonna go to Best Buy and buy it there if they do have it.
A PlayStation 5. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. So this has been a real mission to get hold of. On the pre-order date, missed out on it, so we didn't manage to get it then. On the release date in the UK, similar thing was going to happen. Again, websites were going down. It was really tough to get hold of, but we managed to join a queue in game.co.uk, and we managed to pick up a bundle which had a PlayStation Player 1 t-shirt, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and Demon's Souls. So it worked out around £590. So let's take a look around the packaging. Comes in quite a large box, carry handle at the top. Looking at the top, you can see Sony in this corner, and on this one, PS5, PlayStation. Looking at this side, you can see Sony again, and 8K, 4K, 120. So the 120 stands for 120 frames per second. HDR support, PS5.
That's actually not too bad. 124. Yeah, that's not bad. Mine takes 105.
PlayStation 5, picture of the console here, and the controller just over here. Coming around the side, PS5, PlayStation 5, and details of content just down there. Turning around this side, play like never before, a lightning speed to harness the power of a custom CPU SSD with integrated I/O that rewrite the rules of what a PlayStation console can do. Breathtaking immersion. Discover a deeper gaming experience with the support for haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, and 3D audio technology. Stunning games. Marvel at incredible graphics and experience new PS5 features. Play a back catalogue of supported PS4 games with system update. So some backwards compatibility available on this. Looking over here, 825 gig it's saying. So that's how much storage you have on there.
I also forgot to say, that I forgot, didn't I? Yeah, dang it. I was thinking about saying something, and then right when I paused it, I forgot. I still don't remember.
Be interesting to see how much is actually available after you take into account the operating system, so we'll have a look at that as well. Spinning around this side, just pictures of the console. So let's open it up and see what you get in the packaging. So let's peel off the sticker at the top here. Open this.
So when we do the unboxing video, all of my PS4 controllers and the PS5 controller has to be fully charged. Of course, the PS5 controller, because I really don't want to play over there plugged in to the PS5, and right in front of the TV, and you guys can't see. Even if that didn't happen, this controller is already charged. I charged this when I got it a few weeks ago. That was not what I was gonna say. I still forgot what I was gonna say. But I was thinking about it when I unpaused the video.
And it looks like the whole carry case comes out of here. Now looking at the box, you've got the PlayStation logo there. Just spin it around briefly, nothing else on that side or that side. And drop that tab down, open this up, and it just shows up here. If I flip it around again, you just take the top packaging out and then slide out the PlayStation. So I open that, put this.
Now I remember what I was going to say. What I was going to say was, I will make sure you can see everything, including my PS4 and all the controllers, and including the box and the PS5. If it's going to be sad if I didn't show the PS5 beside me. That's really sad.
Should open up and we'll slide out the PlayStation. It just looks enormous already. Oh my god.
So like how I said, there is a little tiny box on top of it. So I'm gonna pick that up and unbox that first, then unbox the PS4. Or not the PS4, it's the PS5. Sorry, the PS5. Sorry, I really want to play my PS4, but I'm recording a video, so I can't really.
Taking the cover off this one. We'll just take the cover off initially, and we'll have a look at it in a second. Now opening up the box you get with this, that reveals the...
So all the start guides, I'll put it in my nightstand, which is the private stuff that I usually put in my stuff. Because there's a few things from years ago that I still have, and I still have it, and I won't throw it away. So I'm going to put all the start guides there on all the cords next to me, because it's going to be next to me. And then the controller on the box will go next to me. The PS5 controller that I have right now will be next to me when I start the video. So yeah.
Guarantee details in this, and looks like it's multi-language. Then you've got safety guide, and having a brief flick through that, all in English. And then we've got the quick start guide.
Good, because the last time I ordered something from Japan, it was all in Chinese, and I was not very happy. Guess what it was? It was my tripod and how to build it and how to... Oh wait, no, it wasn't... Yeah, it was my tripod. It was all in Japanese. So I couldn't read it, so I had to go through all the pictures. And I still didn't understand it. So I literally just built it by myself. And I already did YouTube on it. I already searched it up when I was building that thing. Apparently there was an app for it, and then it can track your face, which actually was really good use. Which I didn't really use it very often. I only used it twice. One to show it off. Two with Jackson.
And again, looking in this, it's all in English. Even has some color pictures. Got a power cord, and just looking at the connector for the PlayStation.
So I'm gonna unwind it so the wire's ready when I need it.
Standard one they had on the previous one, and the same one they use on the Xbox as well.
This unboxer guy is a whole lot better than the other guy. Because he didn't even show what was in this box. He only showed the PS5, and that was about it. He just unboxed everything, saying there was a guide for that, and boom, that was it. But I'm only reacting to that guy with Jackson, because if we react to this guy, there's a bad game. Sure, he plays bad games all the time. I do once in a while, but not very much. Right now, the only rated M game that I'm playing right now is the new Call of Duty game. Because I'm playing the story mode. And I still haven't beaten the story mode, so I'm still playing it.
Then we have the controller. I've already done an unboxing of a controller, so check that out if you want to see more details about it. So if you want to see that, there'll be a card over here. Just click on that to have a more detailed view of this, and just to check out how to add it on to a PC or an Android device. Now, coming in close, I'll just do a brief intro just to show.
So basically, this controller had Bluetooth, and so I connected to my PS4 by accident. I wanted to see if I wanted to see if it actually did work on my PS4. Obviously, it didn't. So when I pressed the power button, the light only blinks once. So after this video, I'm gonna search up how to disconnect it. Because if I connect this to my PS5 and I push the PlayStation button and it doesn't work, it's gonna suck.
So, size-wise, it's slightly larger than the PS4 controller. Buttons either side here, buttons here. You've got the PlayStation button here, and a microphone mute button. Haptic triggers at the back. Got a Type-C connector there for charging. So now coming close, you can see all the little PlayStation logos all on this. Looking at the side here, same on this side. Feel-wise, has a really good, comfortable feel to it. And I like the fact they've integrated a mic on this. So you could actually game without having a headset. You could just have, obviously...
That will be easy if I did have a microphone on the PS5 controller. Because sometimes when I'm searching for games... I don't know how to spell them. For example, I didn't know how to spell Octodad.
The sound coming from your TV and then speak, and the microphone will pick it up. Next, looking in here.
Usually it's going to be muted because I don't play online at all. The only online game I might play if I do talk to my mother is probably Fortnite. Because I kind of want to play Fortnite with William. Not just at his place, I also want to play on my place. Sure, I might not like Fortnite that much, it's because I don't play it very much. The only time I do play it, if I go to William's place. Which is actually haven't been in a long time, because the last time I went there, I got sick and ended up throwing up. Yeah.
Open that up. You've got a stand here. So this is for if you wanted to place the PlayStation horizontal.
Like how I said, I'm going to use a stand behind my TV because obviously it's not stapled enough. Plus, on the box, it will, or in like construction, like the started guy would say, I would use the stand for the fans so they can breathe properly, which I'm going to use just because I don't want to break the fan. And two, like how I said, I don't like it when it lays on its side. I don't like it when it's like that. I just don't like it.
And you've got a screw point, looks like there as well. Does it turn? Nothing turns. We'll have a look at that in a bit. And then you've got a HDMI cable. Build of this one feels good, nice thick.
Like how I said, I'll rip up all the hair bands. I might have scissors with me when I do record that, so I don't have to spend like an hour, or not even an hour, like 3 hours trying to unhook that. I don't want to do that, so I'm gonna bring scissors.
Chunky cable on there, and looking in here, you've got a charging cable, USB-A to Type-C on here, and build quality does.
Which is really my phone charger. That's how I charged the first controller, which my phone charger was. Which I'm glad it was, because my 10 feet charger didn't fit it. And I'm like, I'm gonna be really upset if this doesn't fit it. So I plugged it into my phone charger and it worked. And I'm glad it did work.
Doesn't seem too bad on this one either. Okay, so now looking at the PlayStation itself, a real beast in terms of size. It's 39 centimeters tall, 26.5 centimeters deep, and the width is 8 centimeters on here. Now, design-wise, you've got a glossy black.
I don't get why she said that. I don't care how big it is. I care because the system and it's really cool that I've seen it.
Finish going all the way around here, and you've got 2 side panels on there. Coming in close, you've got a CD drive here, and you've got a power button just over there. Then you've got an eject button, and then
The only time I do use the power button, even up for my PlayStation, is when I unplug it and re-plug it in, and sometimes when the controller's dead, sometimes it doesn't even turn on, so I would have to use the power button. But usually I don't use the power button at all, usually. I just push the PlayStation button on the controller and it turns on automatically. Which is actually pretty useful. Sorry, my back itches, right? Looks like one of my family members are up. Probably my mom. Let's continue.
coming along, you've got a Type-C connector, then you've got a USB connector.
The reason why I said I don't use the power button, because I bet they actually did the same exact thing as the PS4. If you push the PlayStation button on the PS5 controller, it'll turn on the system. Which, it's really useful because when me and Jackson play it, usually we're not even close to my PS4. Usually we're like far away from it. Which is kind of really useful. Comparing Jackson's TV in his bedroom to my TV, his TV's more smaller than mine is. But the best part about my TV is I'm pretty close to it, so when I play games on it, I can actually see it. When we play it on Jackson's, I can't see it all. When we play Razer Bros, I can barely see what I'm doing.
And then nothing else if I spin it around, all nice and glossy. And then now looking at the side panels here. So if I move it back, you can see there's nothing on this side. Flipping it around, you can see the PlayStation logo here, and that sort of goes through there. Now,
the reason why I kind of want the PS5 is because the system looks pretty cool. It looks a whole lot like the Wii if the Wii had a PlayStation sign on it. The reason why I say that because you can have it like straight up, and there's like the CD thing it goes on. On my PS4, you can't even see where the disc goes. You don't see where it goes. You just put it right in front of the PS4, boom, it's in the PS4.
If I come around the back, you can see the vents for it. There's a Kensington locking point just over here, and then coming along, you can see a USB connection, another USB connection, and then an Ethernet connection point, HDMI, and the power connection point. Now coming around the back here, a few more vents here, and there's a small circle, and if I put my nail in there, pop it off, you've got a hole. So there's 2 mounting positions for this. So if I now come over to the stand, in terms of build quality, all strong plastic on here, you've got 2 rubber areas there, and if I come in close, it looks like all the PlayStation logos on here. So I don't know if you can just make that out on the camera. But pretty cool how
I can barely see it with my eyes because he said there's also a little tiny PlayStation signs on the controller behind it. I look very close to it and I still can't see it. I think they just made it a teeny tiny. They got made like a finding glass, put it up to my eyeball, and I'll probably see it.
I've done it. Got some slots over here, either side, and then looking underneath, and there's supposed to be a screw with this. So if I turn it, that reveals the screw. So that screw is used for mounting the PlayStation directly on top of this. So what you do with that plastic removed from there, you can place this underneath. So just to show, so you take the PlayStation.
Which obviously I'm gonna mess with the bottom and put the stand on before I do set it up.
And the area which has a larger black area, you slot these two into that position and then you screw it in. And they sort of recommend using this if you're gonna have it standing up like so. Now to have it horizontally, what that involves, if I take it out of there. So now looking here at the side, you can see some of the PlayStation logos just in this area. So this is the point where the mount can go and hook onto. The indicator which way round is, if you don't see the screw point, then you know that's for the horizontal mount. And you just line up the two squares either side, hook it on like that. And then you've got your horizontal mounting position there.
I don't like it at all. And I got something else to say. I'm going to change the parts. The part one's going to be me setting it up, playing the playroom a bit, and then playing a little bit of Hello Neighbor. Because in the last video, if you guys do remember, I said I'm going to use Hello Neighbor to download, just because I don't play that game very much. Or it won't take as long to download.
So there you go, as simple as that. Another thing to briefly show, you've got Sony on that side, nothing on the other side.
I forgot to continue. The part 2 is Jackson actually setting his own account up. The only thing that he can't set up is the PlayStation Network because he won't have any. And the internet, I'm just going to connect it to my grandpa and grandma so he does have internet. So if he wants to watch YouTube on that thing, watch his own thing, which I will allow him to do that, he could watch it on my PS5 if he doesn't like what we watch on the TV. I could just do something on my phone, or I'm going to say no just because I have nothing to do on my phone. Usually when I'm there at Jackson's house or my grandpa and grandma's house, I usually have nothing to do on my phone. But when I'm at my house, I got a lot of things to do on my phone. I don't know why, it's just like that.
Right, but coming in close on here, you can see all the PlayStation logos around here. And this is on the other side as well, just to show. There you go, really cool. So surprised how big it is. I have heard other people saying it is enormous, and I have to say it is really big. Now for my particular setup, what I've done, I've moved the Xbox Series X just over here. I think at a later stage I might juggle the consoles about and get a bit more tidier. I might slot in both the Xbox and the PlayStation into one of the slots down there. But in the meanwhile, I will just go for installing over there. So I'll go for the vertical installation of this. Next, let's get this connected.
See, he's gonna use it too.
So first of all, the power cable goes in here. Then we've got the HDMI cable. And I prefer to have things wired, so I've got an Ethernet cable going directly to my...
So you can also connect it to your Wi-Fi routers because it has a lot of power. And if you connect it to your PS5, it will power it. But I prefer the power cord and the TV cord, or the HDMI cord. The reason why I prefer the power cord, because I can unplug it whenever I want to, and when the PS5 drops, it doesn't unplug my my Wi-Fi router. Plus, even if I could plug it into my Wi-Fi, I wouldn't hook it up to any TV because my Wi-Fi is downstairs, not upstairs.
Router, and that's it. Let's turn on the PlayStation for the first time, so press the power button, you hear it beep.
Which is the only time I'm actually going to use the power button. Because I'm going to use the PS5 controller. But if the controllers are dead, then I'll use that.
And a blue light comes on just over here. HDR's already kicked in on this. So now it's saying to plug in the controller. Now I've plugged in the cable into the controller.
Which I'm gonna do the one that is charged and not the one that's dead. I forgot to say also when I do set up the PS5, I'm gonna put the PS5 behind my TV, my PS4 in my nightstand for now, because I can figure out where else to put it. It's probably gonna be where my bird seeds are. Yeah, so I'm gonna move my bird seeds. I'm gonna move my my bird cage a little bit over, put the bird seeds next to it, and then put my PS4 right behind my TV and then right behind the PS5. So when I switch, I can just move the PS4 over to my bed to hold it, then unplug the PS5, and then plug in the PS4, and I'm gonna do the same exact thing. Like I said, I'm gonna move it behind my PS4.
And if we listen on screen, it's actually saying in different languages to get it connected up via the cable. And if you look, it's glowing slightly around the edges. You can see there. And if I now...
Yeah, I showed you guys that when I actually charged my PS5 controller.
Now press the PlayStation logo. There you go. The first thing is language selection. So we're fine with English United Kingdom. Next to that,
obviously I'm going to choose English because I speak English.
okay, so it's got a screen reader, which is reading...
Oh yeah, I'm turning that thing off. Because you don't know how that thing's annoying. Because everything you freaking do, it will read it to you. It's freaking annoying. I only know that because my PS4 has the same exact thing and it was on for a few years. Holy crap, every single time you download a game or get on a game, it would say playing/download hello neighbor.
Off the instructions on the screen, I can turn that off. Okay, next is adjust display area. So we just press the arrows to enable us to do that. And that's the maximum area covered now. You can see the circles in each corner. Okay, to that. So now it's saying to adjust the brightness until the symbol is barely visible. Next to that, same thing again, adjust until it's barely visible. Next again, and same thing again. Okay to that. Now it's saying insert a game disc. If you have a game disc, insert it now and we'll install it while you continue setup.
Which I'm going to do that with Hello Neighbor. Because I already said it. It doesn't take that much. It doesn't take it that long to download.
Do this later on, so I'll say continue without disk. Power options for rest mode, so control the amount of power consumed.
I already know what he's gonna pick because I did watch this video before I start recording. I do that with every single video that I reacted on my channel. Every single video that I've reacted, I had to watch before I did record. Because if I had a bad word in it and I didn't know, I would have had to restart the entire video. Which I would have been really mad. But off topic, obviously I'm going to choose low power use because I'm not going to charge my controllers, and plus it doesn't need any power when it's off.
and features your PS5 can use while in rest mode. So at the moment it's set to low power use. So with this, it doesn't apply any updates. It'll only download and install when the console is on, and it doesn't charge the controllers. So optimized experience, this will apply the latest updates, and it turns on remotely when you connect using the PlayStation app or remote play. And it charges the controllers after entering rest mode. So it consumes more power, as I say, and custom, so we can fiddle around with the settings, get it how you want it. Now we'll go for low.
Which I wouldn't do that. The reason why is because if I do mess it up, it's gonna mess up the entire thing. So I wouldn't be very happy if I did that. But like I said, part one's gonna be me setting up the PS5, setting up my my account, playing the Playroom, and then playing Hello Neighbor a little bit, which would be just Act 1. Then on part 2 would be Jackson setting up his own account. And then if I do a part 3 would be, part 1 would be me setting up the PS5 and setting up my account, playing the Playroom, then playing Hello Neighbor. Actually, no. I'm gonna play Hello Neighbor off camera, but playing the Playroom. Part 2 is setting up Jackson's account, and then he's playing Playroom. Then the part 3 is the first time that we both are gonna be playing an actual game, which is probably gonna be Star Wars Battlefront 2, because that is literally his favorite game.
Power use, and okay for that. Let's agree to that and confirm. Update system software, update the system software to use network features and get the most out of your PS5.
So I liked what he did here. So basically, he just speeded up, which I'm probably gonna do. I'm gonna do my magical powers and speed it up. When in the download process, not the download process, the update. I'm gonna do the exact same thing with the controller, because the controller would have to update too.
Continue on that. System software update. Your PS5 system software will be updated. Your PS5 will restart and start the update. All data for guests will be deleted. Okay, we'll go for update. Okay, so updates have been applied. Now it's saying press the PS button on your controller. A new version of the wireless controller device software is available. Your console won't need to restart for this update, so we'll update now. Okay, so now it's saying to sign in to the PlayStation Network. So let me do this off camera.
Which, like how I said, I'm also going to do that off the camera, just because it's private information. I don't want to get hacked.
Okay, so I've created a new account, and let's...
The only thing that I hated this guy to do, or did, is he forgot to show what he was going to do to set up his avatar and his name.
Click OK. Family on PlayStation. Set up a family to tailor your children's experience with parental controls. OK to this. Download media apps.
The only media I'm going to download is TV, or not TV. I'm thinking of Apple TV. YouTube, because I would watch YouTube on it sometimes. Maybe not all the time, when we're like at Heather. Sorry, I was thinking of someone else. At Jackson's house, we can watch YouTube if I do connect it to their Wi-Fi.
Later. There you go. Welcome to PlayStation 5. All ready to go. So simple.
Right when it does that, I'm gonna put it in rest mode to see what it looks like and turn it on, see what it actually looks like. Because I tried to search it up, nothing has shown up.
That to get up and running. So first of all, Astro's Playground. So it's a full game which is free. So if I now come over, let's get that installed. Now, first thing is, I'm curious about the storage on here. So if I come over to settings, go down to storage, and there you go. So in terms of storage, space available to install games on is 667.2 gig available. So really quite minimal if you think about it. In terms of quite a high-end console, you've got a minimum amount available. But storage-wise, obviously it's a premium storage, it's SSD, it's a solid state drive in there. So performance-wise on the drive, it'll be super fast. Extended storage, this is where you can plug in a hard disk and get additional storage. So I'll do a video showing that at some point. Back from here, screen and video coming in here, video output and resolution set to automatic, and video output information. So you can see here, resolution at the moment is 3840 by 2160 at 60 Hertz. So that's 4K. And now looking below, information for the connected HDMI device, you can see the supported frequencies. So supported wise, it's 120 Hertz maximum. Back from here, HDR is set to automatic, adjust HDR, deep color output. So that's automatically turned on my TV when it picked up the PlayStation. Now let's have a look around the interface. So this is what you're initially presented with, and if you go along, you can see what's installed. So obviously Astro's Playground, and then coming along, you've got PlayStation Plus. This is where you can sign up for a subscription. Obviously you've got to pay for that. That's the price to get a 12-month subscription, so $49.99, but there are other ways of getting it cheaper from other websites. And again, I'll do a video on that at a later stage. PlayStation Now, and these are games on demand. Then you've got Media Gallery, and this is where all your screenshots and video clips are stored. Share Factory, then we've got Remote Play. So I'll aim to do a video on this at some point as well, show Remote Play. And coming across, you've got Game Library, so you can see all the games installed. So at the moment, obviously, I've only installed Astro's Playground. Now, going up from here, going to Media, going back from there, you've got all apps. Then you've got TV and video, and then App Library. So no apps have been installed yet. And if I go down, you can see all the apps available. And we'll install YouTube for now. Okay, that's downloaded in the background. And just to go down, just to show a few more.
Sorry guys, I don't know what happened there.
That's all there is available. Coming back from there, then clicking across, going to games, scrolling down from there. Obviously there's a play button here to start playing this. Coming down, more details. Okay, let's go up now. Going back, you can see PlayStation Store, and going in there, you can purchase games. See here, so you can purchase them straight online, so you don't have to wait for anything to be delivered. And going across, you can see all the games coming out soon. I guess for me, I'm quite excited to try out Gran Turismo 7. And then coming down, let's go back to the top. Got collections, subscriptions, and browse. And then coming up, if I click on search, you can search for different things. So you see list at the top, games, media, players. Back from there. So now looking at the side, you've got the voice icon here. If I click on that, so using voice input, so I can actually speak into the controller now, and it will pick up my voice to search for something. Call of Duty. And there you go. How cool is that?
I like how he said Call of Duty.
So the fact the controller has a microphone in here is really useful. Now coming back from here, going across, you've got settings, and here are all the setting options. So I'll briefly go through these. So users, guide, health and safety and other information, just general information, just to click through. We'll leave that one, looks boring. Accessibility, okay, display related ones, screen reader, so you can enable that again. So if you do enable that as you're moving around, it will just read off what's there. Controllers, so you can change the vibration and the trigger intensity on this. Closed captions and chat transcription. Back from here, network details over here, settings here, users and accounts coming in here. You can add in more accounts if you wanted to. family and parental controls. So if you have young kids, you can add in restrictions through here with parental controls.
Which, as you guys can hear, sorry, I gotta say this quiet because my stepdad's right next door. He restricted my PS4, so I'm not gonna help. I'm not gonna ask for help. I'm not gonna ask him for help to set up my PS4. I might just ask him to do the Wi-Fi password, that's it. I'm not allowing him to touch anything else.
Coming into system software details, HDMI related details, language, date and time, remote play, power saving, so you can amend the settings you initially set, and web browser details. Then you've got storage, we've already seen this one. Sound, so microphone related things, audio output and volume control on here. Screen and video, so resolution related details. Accessories, so Bluetooth accessories, controllers, media remote if you had one of those, keyboard, mouse, and camera. Saved data and game app settings. Briefly go through that. So save data on PS5, save data on PS4, game presets, automatic updates, spoiler warning, and game status.
I'm gonna turn on automatic updates because if the PS5 doesn't update, the games are gonna run slow, which actually that happens to my PS4 all the time. I don't know how to actually turn the auto update on. The only time I can actually update if it doesn't yet have any internet. The last time I didn't have any internet was the last time I went to my grandma's, which was a few weeks ago, and it updated.
Notifications on here, back from their captures and broadcasts, and that's it. That's everything you have available. Interface wise, looks different from how the PS4 was set up, so it's nice to see a bit of a change. This is what surprised me about the Xbox Series X. Nothing looked different, looked exactly like the Xbox One X. Disc wise, discs are placed in this way.
Which I'm glad that he actually showed that, because if I put it in the wrong way, I would get it stuck, and I don't know how to get it unstuck. I know how to get it unstuck on my PS4, but not on the PS5.
Okay, so let's test out Astro's Playground. So if I bring the controller down so you can see the haptic feedback, hopefully.
So the reason why he said, I mean Astro Playroom, he's saying Astro with an A and not a O. So he's saying I don't even know how he says it.
Depending on the controller. So we'll start up the game. And the holes over here, I can hear the sound coming out of there. And the controller itself is vibrating.
I can actually tell that it's vibrating.
Wow, yeah. Individually, I could feel it vibrating, and then the adaptive triggers. Wow, that's pretty cool. If I can somehow show this, pressing down a little bit, there's additional force required to press it. That is really impressive, really is. I was looking forward to seeing that in action. You can see it moving on the screen as well, even a gentle press. And you've got to put a bit more force into it to get it all the way down. Really impressive. Okay, next to that, touchpad.
Which, like how I said, I'm going to spell my name out of it and then, like, draw little lines a few times.
Nice, so you're getting some feedback off the controller itself as you're doing that. Next to that, motion sensor. There you go.
The little asteroid people are in there. You can actually feel them moving around, which I can hopefully eventually feel that.
So moving the controller, obviously the sensor's picking up that you're moving it. Next to that, microphone.
Which I would turn it off right when it said blow on the mic. I would unmute it, blow up in the mic, and then turn it off. Which I'm actually going to do with both controllers because I don't want the PS5 to catch anything that me and Jackson talk about. We don't talk anything bad. Sometimes we talk about what the game we're playing, but sometimes we talk about other things. We'll take turns talking. I'll talk first, and he talks, and then I talk again, and he talks again. And then it just goes on for hours.
And it's saying blow into the microphone, so excellent. So it picks that up. Click to that. Okay, so it's indicating to swipe up. Nice. Has a very different feel to it, the controller, it really does. The feedback you're getting, it's really nice on here. Integrates pretty well. Obviously, when you're jumping around and you're doing things and it's hitting it, the feeling you get on this is very impressive. Okay, so you've seen the unboxing and setup of the PlayStation 5. I'm really impressed with it. I think it really has taken the console to the next level, especially in terms of the controller with the feedback you get on there. Really impressive. I like the fact they've even integrated the microphone into there, so you're not limited to use a headset anymore. So you can get away with just playing straight out of the box and play online with your friends with this. Another great thing about the console is the fact that PlayStation 4 games are backward compatible on there. So if you've got a big catalogue of games you've already purchased, digital or on CD, they'll still work on that. As far as I've heard, the bulk of the games will work. Now, if we compare the console to the Xbox Series X, I think it just blows the Xbox Series X away. The feedback you're getting off the controller is a massive winner on this, and it will really enhance gameplay. And I even like the fact it's even got a microphone built onto it, so you don't have to rely on buying.
That's the game that has blood in it, but when he killed that guy, it didn't show blood, so...
a gaming headset. Performance-wise, performs really well. Disappointment for me really is storage. Obviously, limited storage on there. I've already filled mine up to a point where I'm going to have to start deleting games on there to put more things on. But there you go. Hope it's helped anyone trying to set up their PlayStation 5. Details are in description below, including purchasing links. Hang around for the end cards for some more PlayStation-related videos. Hang around still after this one to see some gameplay on it. Thanks for viewing, and see you in the next one.
Pete! You here? Just down at some rocket fuel. How are you? Drinking very, very carefully. Okay, go time.
Units 2 en route, heavy payload.
Copy, Helix 2, we got you, let's go. This is a big operation. It's gotta be. Hundreds of felons escaped from the raft last year. Now it's time to move back in. Police are taking...
We kind of actually saw him play this already. When he was talking, he played it a little bit, and then he played the game that has a little tiny blood in it, but not very much in it, but I still won't add it in if I do watch it. And then he played a little bit of the car game, and I think we could just end it here. Actually, I'm gonna turn off my face cam, and you guys can actually watch the game. The only game that I won't add in there is the blood game. Actually, no, I'll just keep my face cam on.
Especially now with our guest of honor.
Getting a lot of interference here.
One of those guys who helped Doc Doctors in there? I think so. Could be
actually, yeah, I'm just gonna end it here, guys. See you guys in my next video. Hey guys, so this will be going to the PlayStation 5 video. So basically, I talked to my mom a little bit. She is thinking about it. She has literally 2 months and a week to think about this. So basically about, about 8 to 9 months ago, she said she wanted to make a channel for everybody in my family. So since I am kinda like used to YouTube, since I had my YouTube channel for 3 years, I've been recording and editing for 3 years now, and I'm kinda used to it, but I'm gonna learn how to do it on the computer, because maybe on Christmas I'll get a laptop. I'm gonna get a Chromebook. And then we're gonna have to do it with another email. I'm gonna have to remember the password just in case it asks the password. I won't completely turn it off. It's almost dead. I'll plug it in. But yeah, I'll definitely try not to turn it off. The only person that is gonna be joining out of my cousins, maybe Abby, maybe Cameron, depending on how they feel about it. But mostly, Jackson will join the channel. My second channel, which I haven't made yet. My mom's still thinking about it. She almost said to delete the YouTube, the first channel, the one that I'm working on right now. But yeah. So we're also going to be planning that video so I don't forget about it. She has 2 months and a week, right? I think. But yeah, I just can't believe my room's like full of technology. Out of every room, I got the most technology in the house. Because I got a TV, PS4, a Game Boy, and my phone. So that's like 4 devices right there. And also don't forget my Google Home Mini. So that's like 5 devices right there. I'm about to get 2 more. The PS5 and a Chromebook. So that would be 7 devices in one singular room. I'll use everything. I'm not using my Game Boy right now because I have no idea where it is, and I just found the charger for it. Wait, let me check something. Yeah, I really don't know where it is. I thought it was where the charger is, but it's not. But look how I said we're gonna be planning out where the video's gonna be. So basically I'm gonna unbox it, where I'm gonna unbox my PS5 once I get a PS5. And so gonna be exactly right here. Yeah, this tripod's pretty annoying to deal with. Frick. Fell off the tripod. There we go. So I'm gonna unbox it right here, obviously. I'm gonna unbox the laptop and then let it charge. I'm gonna clear out my nightstand and plug it into my lamp and charge it. I'm gonna record a little tiny clip of when I first plug it in and when it's first, maybe 30 seconds when it's charged. And then right after it's done charging, I'll make it like at least a 5-second clip saying it's fully charged. Then going on to opening the Chromebook, I'm gonna have to record it downstairs on my TV, or not my TV, on my table, maybe my mom's room, so she can help me with it. So I was thinking of making the channel under her email account, which I still gotta talk to her about that. And then making a password that is easy for me to remember, because I bet when I close my Chromebook, it won't save anything, and it will just ask for the password. So I'll make the password easy for me to remember, which I won't tell you guys that, the password, but I'm gonna ask my mom about that. But that's basically it. And let's just react to the videos. So I'm going to react to a few videos. The first video I'm going to be reacting is the video that I did a few months ago. Well, I did almost a year ago. The first laptop video before the Christmas special came out. I recorded that. Then we're gonna react to how to edit videos, or how to really good at editing app to use on the Chromebook. Then how to get the face cam, like the reverse camera for a face cam to work. Cause when I do record on the laptop, I'm gonna have a face cam, obviously, because I'm used to showing my face all the time. When we start the channel, in the first few videos will be revealing all of us. I'll talk to my mom about my little brother, maybe. But once that channel is up and running, I'll link in the descriptions down below for the first video, because on the first video on the laptop, I'm going to record it on this channel and then post it on the second channel and that channel. And then I'll link the channel's name, which I gotta see what my mom wants to name it, because I think she deserves to name the second channel, since I named this one, which I'm thinking about renaming it again, which is actually a pretty good idea, because Patty Pat Pat 2 is pretty hard to search up. Even Jaden was hard to search up. I wouldn't even thought of searching up Jaden randomly. But I'll change my YouTube channel name. So yeah, let's just start reacting. See you guys in the reaction videos. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be reacting to the Chromebook videos. And obviously, as you can tell at the beginning, we're adding this to the PS5 video just because it's another planning video, and so on, so on. Let's get to it.
Hello, this is Gio. Hey, look what we have here. We have an HP 14-inch monitor Chromebook, and we're going to be setting this up today. Okay, so what came in the box? Well, of course, the Chromebook. We have a power cable with an AC adapter and just a little bit of installation instructions and some other documentation. So your Chromebook might look a little bit different, especially if it's not an HP. But on the right side of this particular one, we have a headphone jack right here. We have a micro SD memory card slot right there, a USB port, just a little light here for showing it like a power indicator, especially when you're charging. This will change colors depending on if it's charging or not. And then Right here is a USB-C type power connector. And then on the left side of this particular machine, you have a nano security cable slot right there. You have another USB-C type power connector for charging, and then you have an additional USB, I believe a 3-speed, super speed port. And then with the Chromebook opened up, again, you got the keyboard, standard keyboard, the little touch mouse pad here. You have a nice little speaker here. Now, again, yours might...
Which I'm going to use the touchpad and not a mouse. Because I am totally used to a touchpad. Because I use the touchpad every single day. Because I go to school and I use the touchpad every day.
Look a little different. Your speakers might be in a different location, but hopefully up on top you have a camera right there, so you can do some Zoom meetings or what have you, or Skype. In this case, you have a couple of microphone locations, and in this case, you actually have a little camera light, which will come on perhaps when you're filming. Okay, so the first thing you normally want to try when you open up your new Chromebook is just to see if it powers on. Quite often the battery has some degree of charge and it will power on. In this case, the power button is right here on the upper right. It could be up higher, on the left, or on the side, depending on your machine. So we're just going to hit this and see what happens. And I don't really see anything powering up. So we will have to charge it first. Okay, so again, this Chromebook came with the power cable and the little AC adapter. Now this cable just plugs in right like this to the adapter. And so it's essentially, this is one long power cord now. And so we'll go ahead and plug this in to the wall. And then we'll plug this in to the Chromebook. Now, this one, again, has two places you can go ahead and plug in the power, but we'll go ahead and select the right side. Now, there is a little indicator light, so hopefully when I plug this in, that light will turn on. So we'll go ahead and do that. And there it is, it's on. It's kind of an ambery color right now because it is charging. And for this Chromebook, when it reaches a full charge, this light will turn from an amber to a white. So we'll go ahead and wait for it to charge. Okay, so the Chromebook's not fully charged. It could take up to maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours to fully charge it from about 0 to...
Which always, like how I've said in the PS5 video. Not in the PS5 video. I'm just gonna wait until the Chromebook is fully charged.
100%, but it has been charging for a while, so I feel fine to turn it on. And so the power button in this case is on the upper right-hand corner right here. Depending on your Chromebook, it could be up here, to the left, or even on the side. But so in my case, I'm just gonna press this and see what happens. And there we go, it has started. So we do know that this Chromebook works. And so on the very next screen, it asks you basically for the internet network connectivity. And it will list basically all the Wi-Fi sources it sees. Basically, the Chromebook can't really work very well unless it has internet connection. And so that's what it's asking for next. I've sort of masked all the Wi-Fi sources shown here just for my own privacy. But if you zoom in a little bit, like that, you can kind of see.
I'm gonna make a practice video and mess with my editor up and see if it has a blur too, because I kind of want to blur everything out, because I still want to record. The only thing that I can't really blur out is the email, so I just won't blur that out. Then for the password, I don't have to blur that out, but I also don't want to see the keyboard, so I'm going to lift up the tripod, because I am going to be using the tripod in that video. I'm going to lift up the tripod a bit, tripod, and I kind of like I can type it in, just not like you guys can't see the keyboard.
These little symbols here, and this is basically like this one is locked. These ones have pretty good sources, and the stronger the source, the darker it is all the way to the top. If it's a really weaker source, like this one right here, it's a little lower than that one, and so this top one's a little stronger. I'm actually going to select this one, which is locked, so I'm going to have to enter a password once I select that. And so again, with my mouse pad, I'm going to go and select that particular Wi-Fi source. I'm just going to tap once. Oops. And then it is asking me for my password information, etc. And so I'm just going to log off really quickly while I enter that password. Okay, so with my password information entered, I just want to go down to connect, and I hit connect. And then you can see it's connecting, and it found it. And it says your connection is not private, but that's fine. So I'm just going to accept. And then it initially checks for updates. Okay, so on this screen, it wants you to sign in to a Google account. Now, if you already have a Google account, just enter your email.
Like how I said, I'm probably going to use my mom's Google account and then set up a password. A different password, but just in case if anything happens to the Chromebook or YouTube and anything, the email will go to her. My stepdad doesn't need to know anything about this, so if he does catch us by resetting this up, I won't allow him to touch this, because either I'm getting this for Christmas or I'm saving up my own money to pay for a Chromebook. That's what I'm doing for the PS5 right now. But it's really hard because I've been looking for games. But like how I said, I'm keeping my promise. I haven't looked at any games since my new Call of Duty game came, which was a week ago. Which right now, I'm just really into the Chromebook and the PS5.
Or phone number here, and then the next screen it'll ask you for the Google account password. But if you don't already have a Google account, you can go down here for more options, and then you can create an account. So if you just select here, and then it'll ask you for your first name and some additional information so you can create a new Google account. Okay, so with our Google account all set up, you just want to enter your Google account email or phone number right here. So we'll do that and then hit next. And then you want to enter the Google account password and then hit next. And then you get a you're signed in little screen here, and you can just continue by hitting next. And then you get a typical Google Play terms of service here, and you can go ahead and read that. A little technique on the mouse pad right here is if you want to scroll down, you can't just select this and scroll down. What you want to do is use two fingers and scroll down. So so you just push down like that and scroll down with two fingers, and you can see how that works just like that. And so that instead of one finger, you're using two fingers just to scroll down, and that's how that little mouse pad works. And so we'll just go ahead and hit more. And then there's just a couple of selections you could do about backing up with Google Drive, using locations, etc. I'm just going to keep those checked and just accept. And then you just kind of get a welcome screen here where you can just hit this button here where it says take a tour, and you can see a lot of the options that the Chromebook could do, or you can just close this out and start your Chromebook adventure. So a little bit about Chromebook. Now this is not a Windows-based or Macintosh-based system. This is a Chrome operating system from Google itself. Now if you've used Android phones, you might be more familiar with these particular type of operating systems, but it's pretty easy. You have your little browser here, you have your email here, and so we can just straight go to the browser and it pops up right to Google, and you could start doing internet and web-based browsing right from there, since we already hooked up to the Wi-Fi system. On the bottom here, you can see, let me see if I can zoom in. Okay, in the lower right-hand corner, you have your little Wi-Fi signal, kind of showing you that you are connected, and the general how good your signal is. You got your battery indicator here. That little electricity kind of symbol suggests that it is plugged in and charging. If I were to unplug the plug, that little electric sign would disappear, and you would just have a battery indicator. And of course, you have your time. Okay, so the main apps that come with your Chromebook, you can install different apps depending on what you want to install on your Chromebook, but the main ones are, so we have the Google Chrome, which is your web browser, and we already opened that up. You have your Gmail, so with your Google account, you get a email account, a Gmail account, and so you will have it already set up. You don't have to pre-set up that. Just with your login, you have email. You have the Google Docs. So this is basic word processing, etc. It has just a YouTube little icon, so you could either access YouTube from the web browser, the Chrome, or there's a nice little app here that you can access. And then just a Play Store, so this is just stuff you can purchase, apps, etc. So I do want to show you one more thing before we end this video, and it's related to the cursor here. Now we can control the cursor with the built-in mouse pad, and that's basically what we've been doing so far. But you can also, for Chromebooks, you can use a traditional mouse. You just want to, now this is a wireless mouse, so you can also use a wired mouse. The only thing you want to check,
which I won't use the mouse because I'm so used to touchscreen. But once I get a Chromebook, I'll save up for a little bit and buy a mouse just in case if anyone's not used to the touchpad, they can use the mouse instead. I will use the mouse once in a while so it doesn't get dusty and doesn't work anymore. Because that also happens to the wired stuff. For example, like my wired controller got dusty. And if it got inside and like it got dusty inside of it, it wouldn't work. So I'm gonna have to use that once in a while.
Is when you purchase your mouse, usually on the back of the package, it'll tell you if it's compatible with the Chrome OS or operating system. And as long as it is, you're good to go. Most modern mice are compatible with Chromebooks, and so you shouldn't really have a problem with it. Again, this one's a wireless one, and it comes with this little sensor. If it was wired, basically the end of the wire would look the same. It's basically you just want to connect it to a USB. Let's see, it's just connected to your USB port right here, just like that. Again, if it's wired, the wire would just come out. And now with the Chromebook will sense it right away, and you should.
Sometimes I'm going to use the Chromebook to charge my phone or to charge anything like my controller. Or maybe even use my PS4 controller to play some games on it. Because we can do that on the Chrome. I actually don't know. But the only game that I know that I can use the PS4 controller on is Rocket League and the Fortnite.
have a problem. You can use it right away, and you can just grab your mouse, and yes, indeed, it works. You could also use your pad anytime you want. So with your mouse connected, it will work both ways. So you're good to go. And there you have it, the basic setup of a new Chromebook. It's pretty darn easy. It's essentially just plugging it in, entering your Google account, and you're off. Again, if you just want internet browsing, you're good to go. If you want some basic Google Docs, word processing, you're good to go. If you want other apps, you will have to go to the store, App Store, and perhaps purchase, or even there are some free apps you can get, but that's for a different video. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button at the bottom of the screen, and even consider subscribing to my channel. I will have many more videos to come. Bye-bye.
So you just...
Whoopsie, I didn't mean to push that. But see you guys in the next video that we're reacting to. Hey guys, we are back. We're on to the next video, and this is a blind react. This is the first time I actually watched this video. I just searched up a good editor app for Chromebooks, and I just chose a random video, and I chose this, and it has a good title, and it has a cool thumbnail, so I chose it, reacting to it.
Hey, welcome back to the channel. I have been doing a ton of Chromebook content lately, and one thing that a lot of people have asked me about, and I've been struggling to find for myself, is a way to do like proper video editing on a Chromebook. Now, I have a Dell Inspiron Chromebook 14. It's got an i3 processor, 128 gigs of storage, and 4 gigs of RAM. Now, that should be enough to do like basic 1080p editing. Now, a lot of modern Chromebooks have access to Android applications, so I went out to the Play Store and downloaded a bunch of editors, could not find one that I liked, so I knew that I was going to have to go the Linux route. Now, there's two main ways to get Linux onto a Chromebook. One is using Crostini. Crostini is the built-in support for Linux applications within Chrome OS, and the other one is Crouton. Now, Crouton lets you install basically a full Linux distribution inside a container that you can run whatever apps you want in there. If you want more information about that, I'll put a couple of videos up here that has more information and shows you how to set those up. But just for the purposes of this video, I did not go the Crouton route, because Crouton it requires you to put your Chromebook into developer mode, which wipes out your Croutomebook and then also makes it a little more vulnerable. So I went with the Crostini, which is the built-in support for Linux applications. So the reason I went the Linux route on this Chromebook is because I knew Kdenlive was available, and Kdenlive is a full-featured video editing application. I've been using it for years on my other Linux distributions. It works great, and I knew it would accomplish what I was trying to do for this video and for the types of videos that I was going to edit on my Chromebook. Now, if your Chromebook is supported, it's very easy to turn on this Linux support. You just go into settings, go down to Linux beta, and turn it on. It downloads it, installs it, and you're ready to go. Now, before you install something like a video editor or a game, you also need to turn on GPU acceleration. I have a video on that. I'll put a link right up here if you want to find out how to do that. I'm not going to show you how in this video. You can go check that out and then come back here. It's really easy to do. And once you get that all set up, you're ready to install Kdenlive. Now, it's super easy to install Kdenlive. You just open up the terminal, type in sudo apt install Kdenlive, and it'll download it, install it, and you'll be ready to go. Now, the only caveat here is that it installs a pretty old version of Kdenlive. It installs 16.12.2. They're up to, as of the time of this video, up to 19.12.2. So it is a few versions back. Now, I tried a bunch of things to get the newer version on there. I tried adding repositories, downloading a installable file. It's a DEB file, and also using something called an app image. The app image actually worked, but there's an issue with the video, at least on my Chromebook, where when I loaded my videos in and played them back, the preview window would just flash black, and then the video black and video. It just flashed constantly to the point where it was unusable. I spent some time trying to work around that. Couldn't find a way around it, so I just bagged it and went with the default version that gets installed. It's a little bit
older, but it works fine. So I got to interrupt with an update. I have been editing this video that you've been watching on this Chromebook using that 16.12.2 version, and as the edit gets more in-depth, it's just not cutting it. Things are slowing down quite a bit, creating proxy files. The proxy files in this version actually play back worse than the native 1080p H.264.
Which I'm not going to use that editor. Of course, I'm just going to download a random editor app. I might test a few of them just to make sure I like them.
Or MP4 videos right off my camera, which was really weird, but then I did some research and found that in version 17 they significantly redid the way that they handle proxy files. So I went back to those app images and I started looking through all the different versions and trying out different versions. I've spent a few hours on it now, and the one that I found that works the best, that I have been editing this whole video in, is version 18.12.1. It's been working fantastically. I can drag those 1080p videos in there and play them back. No problem. Scrubbing through is pretty slow, but that's to be expected on this machine. Now, one thing I did run into is as I'm playing the video, the audio was getting a little bit out of sync. This is just a playback issue. When I rendered it out, that wasn't the case. It was just an artifact of playing back. So I did create proxy files with this version for all the video off my camera, and it actually generated those pretty quickly, and they work great. I can scrub through them smoothly. They play back smoothly. I don't have that audio sync issue, so I can set in points and out points, drag my clips down to the timeline, layer clips on top, do color correction, do transitions, all the basic stuff that I do in all my YouTube videos, I'm able to do on this Chromebook in Kden Live with the Linux beta support. It's actually been working really well. Now, this is actually a pretty decent option for anybody that needs to do basic edits on the go, or if you want to do like a rough edit and then bring that home and finish the edit on a more powerful machine. It's great for that. You could probably get away with doing 4K as long as you create a good enough proxy file that it's going to play back on this machine. Playing back native 4K, doing it this way, that's just not going to happen. So doing those proxy files, you could probably get away with that. Now, like I said, I tried out a bunch of editors in the App Store, but I'm curious what you're using. Are you using one of those apps from the App Store to edit videos on your Chromebook? If so, let me know which one you're using, or are you using different apps within Linux? I'd like to know what you're using there too. If you have any questions on anything I went over in this video, or you have more suggestions on something that you want me to get a little more in depth to, leave that in the comment section below as well. If you haven't subscribed yet and you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing. At least give me a thumbs up or leave a comment. I would really, really appreciate that, and hope to see you in the next video.
I don't know why that started playing. Those guys, see you guys in next video.